Hello and welcome to Star Citizen Sunday with me, Ryan, aka Sifu Messiah. This is a weekly show which covers everything from the world of Star Citizen over the past week. Links can be found in the description for anything we discussed during the show, so let's get on with it. In this week's show, we get 10 questions answered by the designers. We join Sandi and Ben for Around the Verse episode 40, plus the racing ships in Arena Commander are available for us all. Oh, and we announce the winner of the Aurora package, of course. So I just want to start with a big thank you to Jeffrey Levesque, who has bought me a beer this week. Thank you, sir, and cheers. So with Chris Roberts in the UK, it has been left up to the designers to answer the 10 questions. Pretty much picked them all, so let's get started. First question, how important is the repair system when designing a ship, and how in-depth will the ship engineer gameplay be? So he explained that the repair gameplay will feature a wide variety of small discrete repair actions, so every problem can be dynamic. It's not going to be difficult to repair things, but it's going to be harder to sort of work out how they need to be repaired. And he says things like Car Mechanics Simulator, Trauma Center and Penumbra were all influences in this creation of the repair gameplay. Very, very cool. I'm sure it'll be just as in-depth as the mining gameplay. They did say that they've got a cool prototype going so far and they hope to sneak it out sooner or later. I'm very excited to see about that. Anyway, the next question was, how will someone who is physically or mentally challenged manage with the non-leveling aspect of Star Citizen? So obviously in the more traditional MMO games, your character levels, so you're able to do everything without really having to worry about it or having to think about it. And they say that so far the level of support for input devices and remapping your devices is there. So if there is a certain device that you have to use or you prefer using, that will be a really helpful way of getting you to play the game to the same level as someone else. They also say that the specialization roles, you can either go deep into them, but you don't have to. So you can really go to town and learn all you can about certain roles, but you don't have to. You can still do it on a decent level and enjoy the game thoroughly. So they allow people to find where they're comfortable. I'm sure there will be more down the road for people who are finding it difficult to play the game, but we shall just have to wait and see for that. Next question, pretty cool question. In regards to multi-crewed ships, will the pilot be able to shut down, restart individual engines while in flight? For example, if piloting the Connie, could you turn off 2 engines and conserve fuel? And they explain that yes, this is the entire point to multi-crew ships. You can allocate jobs to certain crew members, but not all these members will have access to every system. It's more only if they need access. Also, things like the radar and the shields will allow you to manage them fully without having to worry about your weapons or piloting. So it does kind of balance it out well, and if, say, your weapons or your engines get shot out, you would be better off shutting down the power to those units and rerouting the power to other systems. I know in Arena Commander, currently, if I lose a gun or I run out of ammo, for example, I actually turn off those systems. I don't know if, at the moment, it affects your power and redistributes that power somewhere else to get it more power somewhere more needed or not. But I do it now anyway because I just enjoy the immersion of it. So the next question is in regards to overclocking ships, and they say that in Star Wars Galaxies, you can experiment on items you have crafted to get a better design for that item, resulting in people becoming, say, the best crafters on that server. And they want to know if something is similar like that in Star Citizen, which is very, very cool. And they say that Chris Roberts has actually been bringing up this type of thing for ages in meetings. Mechanics are still to be worked on, but instead of maybe a weapon or armor skill, it will be more how many toys you have to break before you make an item better. They didn't really go into much specifics about it, but it sounds like, yes, if you are on a particular server, I mean, I'm not entirely sure if the servers will work the same as Star Wars Galaxies, but yeah, he said he wants people to make a name for themselves in the verse and become famous in that universe. Anyway, question after that is, will environments affect your flight? And they say, yes, definitely. Ion storms may affect your power plant or your shield, and things like nebulas may be volatile, and if using thrusters a lot, it could even explode, so you will have to take care when you're in these environments, or you can use them to your advantage if you're trying to escape a pirate, for example. So the question after that is, are we able to switch ship configurations on the fly? For example, the Vandal could be configured with a low emission shield and power plant with a secondary system configured for high performance and combat, or possibly having both splash and direct damage shields installed and switching between them. Now, they didn't really go into the first part of the question, but I know that you will have profiles that you can set up your ship, and they'll have like macro control. So if you press profile 1, it'll change things so that it's more more suited to, say, low emissions and keeping quiet, or going black is one I'll probably call it, is just shutting off all engines, everything, and hiding. And then you can press another button and it should re-engage your engines, direct all the power to your engines and to your quantum drive so that you can get out of there and your sort of maybe your rear shields. You know, there's different configurations you can do, but they only picked up on things like splash and direct damage with the shields. So I don't think you can have, I think if you've got 2 shields on your Vanguard, one will protect a certain half of your ship and the other will protect the other half. I don't think one shield will protect the full ship. So you can't have, say, the splash and direct protecting the full ship simultaneously or on its own. It'll only do half and half. And they did say that, say, if you're doing a bombing run, you can have direct fire shields on your front and then maybe the splash, which is for missiles, to the rear for when you have finished your drop and they're firing missiles at you. So again, there is a lot of customization there, which will really affect how the game is played. Anyway, next question. So if a pilot spots another ship, will it be able to project this information to another ship or to your fleet? And they said that the Hornet tracker is well suited to this. It can gather the information and the data and send it to another ship. Although the Hornet may not be able to send it to all the ships in your fleet, but if you have a friend with a Herald close by, you can then send that data to the Herald and he can distribute it around to all the other ships because he's obviously a data runner or an information runner. Question after that is there a plan to get rid of the dreaded use icon, which obviously we see everywhere. Anytime you want to do anything in Arena Commander, this big use pops up. And they said maybe a hand animation. Now they explained that yes, definitely they want to clean it up for it to be more immersive, so it will be more of an animation, but they did say it's deep in CryEngine and they didn't realise how much work will be required to get rid of it. It is on the go, but it's more difficult than they first thought. They did say that there's a few designs to replace it, but nothing as yet that we can see. And I think they said that, you know, everything is animated, so he reckons it will just be an animation. Anyway, after that is, if I find a derelict ship but have no means to salvage it, how long will it persist before the instance is closed and the ship is gone? Now, this question has come up before, and Chris did say maybe 5 minutes, maybe 10. They don't know that particular amount of time yet. That is still yet to be fleshed out. But he did say that if you find a big prize around space, your best bet currently is to just stay there and keep that instance open until a friend can get to you. But this is a very minimal thing at the moment. It's going to be fleshed out more, and then you will be able to figure out how to do it properly. Nothing is yet set in stone, but we shall see. Anyway, the final question is, will there be a system for formations where you can form up and jump at the same time with other ships and be locked into an escort position when teamed, say, with a capital ship? And they said that they have just been talking about about this or something similar, and being able to pick a flight leader, and then your IFCS will track that leader, and obviously he will have to agree for you to do this. It's not going to be able to, if you're a bounty hunter, you can't just suddenly fly next to him. And so your IFCS will track this person, and you will be able to do squad maneuvers easily compared to just when you're normally in the verse. Again, they said that they'll be trying this out soon. It's very early on, so fingers crossed it will work very well. Anyway, that's 10 for the designers. Let me know your thoughts on everything. I would love to hear them.
Coming up on the Empire Report, last month's slave ring bust has meant hundreds of former captives returning to their homes. But find why one woman may have to go to court to get her life back. And
could an outer system be the next real estate must-have? Hear what has the rich and powerful pulling up stakes and staking claims. Plus,
why a Navy surplus may mean it's the perfect time to buy a new ship. We share how the UEE's loss might be your gain. All that and more on the latest Empire Report at 2200 SET.
So, on to Around the Verse episode 40, and they started by telling us that we have reached $79 million in crowdfunding support. This is incredible. Next it'll be $80 million, which is a huge amount of money. Anyway, they also mentioned that you can pick up the Super Hornet and the Gladiator this week. They are on sale to celebrate the multi-seat functionality in Arena Commander, and they do want to point out that all ships are still not final, so there will still be bugs, there will be issues, but this is purely for testing. Anyway, so news from Around the Verse, starting with Santa Monica CIG. They are finishing the hull concepting. Now this is exciting. The hull ships, you have A to D. These are going to be the cargo haulers, from maybe small single-seater, dual-seater cargo haulers to the huge full-scale cargo ships that we will see transporting most of the goods around the verse. This will also be the next for us to see in the concept sale, Ben said, so I really cannot wait to see these, so get your hands in your pockets and let's start buying them. Anyway, they also mentioned they're polishing the character pipeline, starting with the Terra citizens. They are doing the upper and middle middle classes and then moving on to the rest. Arena Commander 1.1.2 is the tutorial system, which is coming up soon. It'll also include patches for the FPS module, which we won't see. It's just going to help smooth things over for when the FPS module is released. And obviously the tutorial system is going to be a military-esque, following a veteran around, doing what he says. Very exciting. I really cannot wait to play that, even if it is stuff we already know how to do. Anyway, over to Ilphonic, and they are working on Starter Ball. This is the 0G sporting mode using grappling hooks, and you have to shoot a ball into a goal. The ball is smaller than the average beach ball. Apparently they started with a beach ball size ball, but Chris said no. They also mentioned that the polishing of 0G gameplay is going well as well, and the previs of the crumple jump, which is where you grip hold of an object and then push off in the direction you want, is going very, very well. This will obviously play part in Starter Ball itself, but they're testing the Starter Ball prototype just to make sure it's good and it plays well. And now they're also finding ways to cut down the network to get better performance, which is obviously very, very important. We need it to be properly optimized because so far it is a bit of a demanding game. Anyway, over to CIG in Austin, and they are working on this year's roadmap for environments so that everyone is following the same route. Ilphonic and Behaviour have come over to the Austin, Texas studio just to make sure that everyone's on the same page and everyone is doing the same thing and following the same path, which is very important, obviously. So, Foundry 42, and we were talking to the CS guy, a new employee, I believe, and they are monitoring the RSI forums, the Reddit sites, everywhere, and are reading up on the networking and matchmaking issues. Now, we obviously, every time a new patch is released, we see a lot of issues with matchmaking mainly, and they just want to let you know that they are looking into it and they are working hard. They're always on these websites, making sure that they take in everything you say. So if you do have an issue, let them know about it. They will see it. Anyway, they say they are testing Arena Commander and the focus is on the tutorial mode, which is coming out still. They're making sure it works perfect and just getting it into a playable mode. And it will be a little snippet into how Squadron 42 will play. You know, you get to interact with this veteran pilot and, you know, make sure you follow him and so forth. It'll give us a little indication as to what we can expect from Squadron 42 anyway. Also, they say they are testing the FPS, giving it a lot of testing, making sure that that is polished, and I really, really cannot wait to play that. So the interview this week was talking to Lisa Ohanian. I hope I pronounced that right. She is the production coordinator. She is the lady we see talking with Darian on News from Around the Verse. If you want to know what she has to say, check it out. Anyway, back to Sandi and Ben, and they finally had the fight. The battle in Arena Commander. After all this time, Sandi's been doing her flight school, and she kills him. Anyway, they also mentioned that Gamescom tickets are still available, but they are going quick, so if you are interested in going to Gamescom, pick them up. Next month we'll hear about CitizenCon, which is in Manchester, so I shall be on the website constantly day and night waiting for that. Also, in regards to these Empire reports, which we see at the start of Around the Verse, they want backers to create the backdrop for the show. The details are in the forums. I'll find the link for you. It'll be in this description. If you have an idea of what you want for the backdrop, create it, put it in there, and let them and see if they choose it. So this week they have unlocked all the racing ships that are currently available in Arena Commander. Get in there, give them a go, and see if you can take on the old Vanderbilt. I know I have many a time when I've just spun off and smashed straight into someone's home. Wasn't pretty, but you get used to it. Anyway, they also want you to let them know what ships you want to fly in Arena Commander. So if you have a particular ship that you want to be able to access, let them know and they may release it for you. Also, they want you to submit your 30-second clips of Arena Commander every time now on Around the Verse. They have little intermissions with 30-second clips of people's experiences in Arena Commander. So if you have a funny moment that you want to share with everyone, send it in to them. They may even use it. So onto the sneak peek. It's another armor suit. I'm not sure which one it is, but the detail is very, very sweet. So also this week we met Cherie Heiberg, who is the archivist over at Cloud Imperium. Big job, as there is lots of information already on Star Citizen. All the lore, everything needs to be archived. There was a new Plain Truth post as well, talking about the Polo Initiative. Have a read and tell me which side you're with. This week's Galactic Guide is all about the Tyrrell system, which is a place untouched by the UEE. So if you're looking for a place to hide, Tyrrell may be your spot. Tyrrell, who knows? And for all you subscribers out there, the new jump point is available, which explains how the Vanguard came about. Some very cool little pictures there. So if you are a subscriber, get into your post and have a read of it all. And the final post on the RSI website was all about the flyable racing ships that have now been unlocked for everyone to fly and try. You get to play with the Origin Jumpworks M50, which looks fantastic up close, and the 350R, plus the Consolidated Outland Mustang Gamma. So if you are interested in being a racing pilot or just want to have a fly around and test them out, get into Arena Commander. They are free for you to fly. You do not don't have to buy them, you don't have to earn REC for them, you get to just play with them. Also, tell me your thoughts, which one do you prefer? So, as you know, last week Robert kindly provided us with an Aurora MR game package which includes the ship, the self-land hangar, and both single and multiplayer games, Star Citizen games, plus other bits. And to stand a chance of winning this, you had to be a subscriber and comment with a paint scheme for your ship. We had some great ideas, but as always, only one can win, and we used a comments randomizer to choose the winner. And that winner is Pop Bernie, and he says, I want chrome and yellow or orange paint on my ship. Nice, short and sweet. Anyway, you are the winner of the Aurora MR game package. Congratulations. We shall be in touch. Thank you to everyone who entered. Some really good ideas, and I can't wait to see the vast diversity of ship colour schemes. Anyway, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, as we are doing a giveaway currently over there. It is at SuperMacBrother, no S on the end, where you can win a Katu Owl to Katsu hangar model. So yet again we have come to the end of the show. I just want to say a big thank you to all our subscribers and a massive thank you to all our patrons. You are truly helping our channel grow. If you are interested or able to help us out in way of a monthly donation from as little as $1 to any amount you deem fit, check out our Patreon page in the description. This really helps our channel to create more videos, better quality videos, and it allows us to get better hardware, better software, plus it allows us to spend more time on creating the videos. Don't forget to subscribe, comment if you have anything to say, show me the love by hitting the like button, and share it with all your friends and enemies. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in next week's show.